All right, December 27th edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Great to be back here with you. A whole lot to talk about. I'm going to talk about the weather here over the next 5 to 7 days and then give you some long-term thoughts as well. Maybe try to sniff out the first potential winter weather fun and games for snow fans out there. I guess a second. We had a little bout of some freezing rain earlier in the month of December, but talking about maybe a pattern change a bit as we get deeper into January. I'll talk more about that later on in the video. Look, during the 5 o'clock hour this morning from the Greensboro Tower camera, a lot of low clouds, some fog out there in some spots. We'll take a trip up to the mountains. There's a look at the Appalachian Ski Mountain web camera this morning with the temperature there in Blowing Rock is 55. If you want to do some skiing or some riding, not the greatest conditions now, but there's a blast of cold air incoming. That will allow for the return of snow-making temperatures at night, and I think even a little bit of natural snow in the mountains as well. A little bit later on this week, some upslope snow coming behind the big cold front later this week. And there's a look at Charlotte. You can clearly see the low ceilings in place. Again, as I cut the video this morning, the temperature in Charlotte, a very balmy 54. Very mild all around the region. And here's your highs from yesterday on Monday. 50s and 60s, generally 50s around the Triad viewing area, although only 46 in North Wilkesboro and 60 in Burlington. Down around Charlotte, upper 50s and lower 60s. Now here's how we're looking this morning as we start the day. There's your visibilities. Half mile of visibility in Rockingham. It's similar up through a lot of the central parts of North Carolina down into South Carolina, and you do have some dense fog advisories out in some parts of the Carolinas this morning. So just be aware of that. Some areas that have some pretty significantly reduced visibilities here and there. Look at these temperatures, though. Keep in mind our average highs in a lot of the Piedmont of North Carolina, out of the Midlands of South Carolina, upper 40s to low and mid 50s. So we're in many instances above our average high temperatures here during the 5 o'clock hour. It is 69 degrees in Jackson, Mississippi, 70 in New Orleans, 67 in Huntsville, Alabama. Really mild late December air mass, but that's not the case in the Rockies and the Northern Plains. Much, much colder air up that way, and we'll get a little taste of that colder air here toward the tail end of the work week. But even all the way up in Maine and Vermont, New Hampshire, most of the rain with this cold front, or most of the precipitation rather with this cold front, is in the form of rain. Rain showers this morning in parts of West Virginia and Kentucky. Pretty good band of heavier rain in Middle Tennessee there, down into northern sections of Alabama and Mississippi. Arkansas, northern Louisiana too. But watch this. Here's the high resolution rapid refresh modeling right there. Notice that the rain really kind of falls apart to some extent as it crosses the mountains. I do expect some showers, at least a few showers today. But the intensity of the showers and the rain will be diminishing as they push deeper into the Carolinas. Cold front pushing in, so a few showers today. Very, very mild conditions. Here's our Tuesday highs. Way, way above average for this time of year. Now, tomorrow, a little bit cooler. Still above average temperatures, but plenty of sunshine for your Wednesday. There's what we're looking at for Wednesday's highs. And then here comes our next cold front in this quick-hitting pattern. Good chance for at least some rain Wednesday night into Thursday morning, and then we do get a little taste of some colder air thereafter. Thursday still relatively mild, but by Friday we're in the 40s for highs. That's nothing brutally cold by any stretch of the imagination, but certainly a cooler air mass. And let me show you some of the more detailed modeling here. We'll start off with the European model, looking at 500 millibars. This is the setup for today. Now we get out into Thursday. There's that big trough diving into the eastern part of the country. And then we get out to Monday. Here's the next system rolling in. It looks like a pretty wet go of it later Sunday into Monday. And then later on next week, that's when things kind of change a little bit. Now, this is a look at the 850 millibar, the 5,000 foot temperatures at the end of the European model run from last night. That's a lot of really, really cold air. And if you're wanting potential for some winter fun and games, you don't really want to see cold completely overwhelm the pattern. You want to kind of be near the battleground here to some extent in many instances. Now, you can get, if you're in a purely cold pattern, you can certainly get some snow and ice fun and games. But a lot of times in this type of deal, where you're on the fringes of this, that's when you can see something happen. And let me kind of step you through a little bit of this. Let's take a look here at, again, this is 500 millibar heights now. This is off the European ensemble. This is valid Sunday morning. Ridge in Alaska, ridge going up in Greenland. They don't quite connect, but it is enough here. You go out to the end of the run, or near the end of the run. This is Tuesday the 10th, and the polar vortex kind of easing further south into Canada. So let me show you this. This is courtesy of Weatherbill, by the way. The European Ensemble. There's your 5,000 foot temperature deviations from normal for Friday's shot of cold air. Pretty good blast of cold air there. Now we go out to early next week, and it really warms up for us Monday and Tuesday before. Watch this. This is Thursday of next week. Okay, and then all the way out to Sunday, the evening of the 8th. All right, and so again, that's a lot of cold air in much of the lower 48. And if you look at the Canadian model here, this is the Canadian Ensemble. Again, there's this Friday. There's the warm up early next week. And then that's a lot of cold air. And again, if you're on the fringes of this, that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think the period from the 6th to the 10th needs to be watched for at least the potential for a little bit of wintry precip somewhere in the mid-Atlantic or the southeast and somewhere close by to the Carolinas. Again, that period later on next week, I think there's something that you kind of need to keep an eye on in that general time period. In the meantime, well, this is a little tough to see based on the scaling, but some record highs again today near the Gulf Coast region, so another pretty mild day today. Now let me step you through the days here real quick. GFS model, this is today with a chance of a few showers out there. Not much going on tomorrow. And then here we go into Thursday. That next chance for some showers rolling on in. Friday, cold and dry. And then here we go as we get into Sunday. Now this is New Year's Day, actually Saturday evening. So Saturday evening moisture increasing, and then here we go New Year's Day. Rain moving in. Monday at this point looking quite wet as that next system pulls on through. And if you look at the European model, it is also on that very wet scenario for Monday of next week, and then to the end of the European model run, once again, a lot of cold air in the lower 48, something brewing out west. And I think that period late next week into the following weekend, and needs to keep a small potential open for some winter fun and games. We'll see. All right, that is it for the latest edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Have a great day, and God bless.